So this is the Mezco 5.89 Batmobile. It's just a very quick unboxing just to show you a quick look at the toy itself, and there'll be a proper full written review in the description below. So this is how it comes out of the box, covered in its shell accessory, very much like the original Toy Biz Batmobile, or rather the second edition. It comes in just this thin plastic casing which is just hollowed out. It doesn't feel as thin and flimsy as the original, but it's still quite a thin plastic and quite light. So onto the car itself, as you can see, it's a very nice detailed reproduction of that 89 Batmobile. It's got a lot of solid detail in there, really deep, nice recesses and panel lines all throughout. And you can just about see, if I put my finger there, slightly smoky windows. So you have the translucent red brake lights. The front headlights are also translucent, but it's a painted yellow background. And all sort of moulded in a glossy black plastic. Makes it very retro toyetic, not that movie accurate, but you know, that's pretty much all Batmobile toys, isn't it? Not unlike, well, in fact, identical to the animated 5 Points Batmobile with big chunky rubber tyres, very large treads. However, if they're anything like the tyres from the animated Batmobile, they will scuff and nick very easily. In fact, I've only been rolling it on this smooth surface and you can already see it starting to wear down a bit and pick up little burrs and stuff, but it will roll just fine, but it's not really for playing with. So for the dimensions, it is, from the furthest point to the end of the spoiler, about 13.5 inches long. Highest point is about 3.75 inches high, and its furthest width is just a little, 5.75 inches wide. Obviously, if you include the shell on that, it's going to take up a little bit more space, but that's roughly how much shelf space you're going to lose. As stated in the instructions, you have to gently push this canopy open because there's no sort of lip or little sort of indentation to get your fingernail into, which makes it looks nicer, but you know, this means it's not very user friendly, so you have to very carefully just push it forward. It's very stiff. I'd say that's about the absolute most you can push it forward. Inside you can see there's a very nicely sculpted dashboard, just make it out. Lots of little silver paint details in there, with dials and a little monitor there. There's the steering wheel. I don't know if it turns, I think it can turn, but you know, my big old man fingers just can't really get in there, and if it can turn, then it's quite stiff and I don't want to force it. But it should be noted, there is no gear stick in there like it was on the animated Batmobile, so it should be, at least potentially, easier to get the figures into, because it was quite tricky getting them into if you watch that video on my channel. Another feature included is the machine guns. These are just very simple panels you just flip over, just push down to the side, revealing the machine guns that are done in a very nice gunmetal. Really good detail. If I just lift them up, you can see there's even they've even put little barrel holes in there, and you get an exhaust effect piece, just a sort of orangey yellow translucent piece, just like on the animated. This just very simply just plugs into the back, except as an added feature, when you roll it around, it rotates and makes a worrying clicking sound, but never mind that. So that's the Mezco 89 Batmobile. Full written review coming soon.